Hello, everybody. You'll notice I'm dressed for the occasion. It's Christmas time, so I thought, what the heck? I'll wear my beautiful hat and my jacket here. And so I want to say hi. Oh.
Hi.
We're going to be
Don't
called
forget this guy.
Flying High, not Flying High, but Flying Higher, because I have this young lady that's joined me, and we're going to both do the interviewing. So when I start, she'll say, oh, here, let me take over. So I'll say, okay.
He's going to be flying high. I'm going to be flying higher.
Okay.
There we go.
And we are changing our card, so it reads Flying Higher.
Flying higher.
And it's so great today to have this gentleman here with us, because he is a well-known person, and we want to make him better known, and we want to get his views on what's going on and so forth, and we sure look forward to working with you. Introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what.
Thank you, Dr. Mariam, and thank you, Jennifer. All the viewers, first of all, I'd like to wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Myself, I'm Ritesh Tandon. I'm running for congressional position from District 17, which include Fremont, Newark, San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, Cupertino, and Milpitas. I'm living in this country for last 20 years. I came here for my educations, where I finished my master's in computers and master's in business. Since last 20 years, I'm working in technology field. At the same time, I'm working for the non-profit organization. Last 20 years, I'm helping the underprivileged people and underserved children, and also working with the community to make the life better.
Tell us, what made you interested in working with these people? What grabbed you? What made you say, hey, this is where I want to work, this is what I want to do? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure, Dr. Sanchez. So when we look into our life, we have one life. And today, actually, everyone can do better in their life. Only thing is, they should get the opportunity. And I have seen that while working with the underserved children, they can do much better if they have given the right tool and right opportunities. And I've seen that segment was missing. And when I work with the underprivileged people, some of them actually, they believe that it's a God gift that they cannot see from the eyes. But technically, there is a treatment which they are not aware, and they don't have the enough money to spend to fix their eyesight. So I felt that if I can help, I get so much satisfaction and joy in my life. This is where, after working in the technology field, I spend my rest of my time working for the people.
Well, that's what I love to hear. So your enjoyment, it's part of your life, it's in your heart's in it. It's not just something out here, that you're saying, but you're really into it. And this, again, is what impressed me with you, and having you here is wonderful. So that's really important. Maybe you have a quick question you want to shoot, or?
Well, I share a similar philosophy. We started our facility over here, the Emergency Dental Center, to kind of do the same thing. We noticed that there was a gap in the community that just was not being served adequately enough, that the providers working in that field weren't getting paid enough. So there was an underserved population and also a shortage of providers willing to see that population. And in order to work within that field, you have to create a very unique business model or a very unique patent, or do it for a different reason.
Right, so true.
For your heart. And if you're doing it for the reasons out of your heart, you're not looking for kickbacks, you're not looking for monetary. What you're doing it for is that warm and fuzzy, and we do it because we like to go ahead and help people. And I think this seems to be the core of what you're getting at.
Exactly same what you are doing.
Yeah, we're not doing it to make $1 million, although everybody would like to keep their lights on at the end of the day. But we're doing this so other people can also keep their lights on.
And at the end of the day, you have to eat just a little bit food. Even you are living in the big mansion, you are still in the one room only.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter, right?
Absolutely.
Only important part is how we can help the people and how we can take them along with us.
Well, and absolutely. And here living in the Bay, we all live in a one-bedroom apartment anyway. We can't afford any of those big mansions anyhow. So, for here, especially in California, we do have a large underserved population. So it is a detriment to have somebody here, and a privilege to have somebody here that has already kind of stepped that path forward and is working in the community and moving that motion forward and that vision forward to help those people within our community.
And when you talk about this, I still get that feeling that you got into it with your heart. You saw the people, you saw what's going on, you know, and that's led you. Not somewhere out here where you're a politician and talking to people and getting paid or whatever. But it seems that you just, and what did happen? What was there a special time that you felt this?
So this happened like 35, 40 days before, and I was earlier not planning to run for any office or position, but I'm closely monitoring what is happening in my district. I'm closely looking into how the people are and how they are suffering. In fact, a couple of things, and coming from the technology field also, when I look into the politicians, Democrats and other people, they want to break down the companies. They want to increase the corporate tax. And what will happen by increasing the corporate tax is the companies will become less innovative, less competitive in the market. And today when we see the unemployment number, which is 3.5%, which is historically low in last 50 years, and we see the Dow at 28,000 number, which is actually every company is doing well in the Silicon Valley. These people, they want to reverse the course. Look, coming from the technology background, I see that today when we build any technology, we need to look into how it will help serve mankind, how the companies can grow. And they need some ammunition which our current administration President Trump has offered to the companies. At the same time, when I look into my opponent, Ro Khanna, he's serving more Bernie Sanders, going more left side, becoming more socialist. I can say that out of top 5 cities, homeless cities, 4 of them is right here in the California.
I would agree with that.
And I feel so bad when I see the people who are on the road, on the side. It is where it's raining and it's a winter time, and they are actually suffering unnecessary, where our government might have done much more for them instead of fighting the battle which is unnecessary, not going to get any result.
Right, right.
And this is actually, Dr. Sanchez, make me feel that it's time to get in and what we want to do for the people, for the community, for our children, we need to fight this battle.
This is why I wanted you here so bad, you know, get those words out. And because you're in a position, you know, to be able to help. You're getting into an office that you'll be able to not just talk about, but get into it and do these things.
Exactly, exactly. When we look into these homeless people, they have circumstances. They are not bad people. They are also human beings. If we work out in a plan in such a way, for example, our Shabbat college here, Saturday, Sunday is pretty much available. We can leverage the college to give them brief training, bring them to the speed, help some medical facilities like yours and other, and give them some mental treatment or other treatment, whatever is required. Give incentives to the companies where they can hire them, and also actually give them housing for some time and bring them back to their foot. I think we can do it in a couple of months. People are talking about millions and millions of dollars they are spending going into the pocket, wrong pocket, and we are not seeing any result. I think as one of the richest state, which is California we should also take care of people.
Absolutely. So we're the 5th largest economy in the world, just here in the state of California, and we do have some very large businesses here, and yeah, we also have a very large homeless population here within our community. And one of the things that you had mentioned was Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders has been a lifelong career politician, and he's kind of made his whole career over the Universal Health Care Act or the Affordable Health Care, or he was touting it as Medicare for all at one point in time. And that is a very hot subject right now in politics. Either you're for that universal health care or you're against it. And if we look at our homeless population, there's a large percentage of our homeless population that, yes, have fallen on bad times, but also have mental, physical, and also drug problems where they are just struggling and they can't get the services that they need. And Bernie Sanders, being that lifelong politician, his solution to that is get them the health care so they can get off of the street, get into a healthful situation, and get back onto their feet. What do you feel about that? Where do you stand on universal health care?
So first thing is, every human being, they need the medical service. There is no question about it.
So basically, basically healthcare is a human right, is what you're saying.
Healthcare is a human right. And what I see that the current the healthcare system, what is the Affordable Care Act, which is there, is working. People are getting treatment. But at the same time, if we can enhance that little bit by cutting the cost of the drug, cutting some of the process, what we do for the doctors, like doctors before, they put 3 to 4 steps before they do the actual treatment,
Yeah.
cut down a little bit more regulation, and let all work together to reduce the cost. Like what earlier you have mentioned, that we can get everything done in the one sitting. Why to call
Yeah.
the patient 3 times? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Exactly. So a lot of times being on our side of the industry, being in the medical field, the reason why we do 3 visits is because as a provider, our pay that we're receiving from the state or from those assisted healthcare plans are so small.
Right.
We have to see them 3 times
Right.
just to keep our lights on. So when we look at the universal healthcare and what they're trying to push forward, while I do agree healthcare is a human right, everyone deserves it, but there's another side of that coin, which is how are we going to help our providers in the industry, the people that are providing this medicine, the hospitals that are closing, how are we going to help them as well? Because we can give everyone health care, but if we don't have a facility for them to access
Right.
it in, it doesn't do us any good.
this sorry. So this is exactly where we have to work to reduce the cost of the drugs,
Yeah.
reduce the cost of the services, and also actually we need to work, bring more and more competition. Today when Bernie Sanders talk about Medicare for all and medical for all, I see that approach is not going to go very far.
Right.
Because anything which is run by the government, we have seen the example of Social Security,
Correct.
right?
Backboard.
It's completely, I don't know whether I'm going to get the Social Security in next 10 years.
Yeah.
So anything which is run by the government, I don't believe is going to go far. We need the people like you who are in the medical facilities, think from the heart, and bring the competition, bring the new thinking, bring the new technology, and help the people and make the things better. When we look into the government system, I can tell you the facilities what they are trying to create. When I look into the system in UK, in Canada, UK people need to wait for 1 year if they need to get the heart surgery or anything, because
Yeah.
everything is so much backlog.
Right.
Wait.
Second thing is, doctors
Go
are
ahead,
doctors are not innovative as well,
Yeah.
because they know that they have the strict paycheck what they are going to get, irrespective whether they treat or not treat.
Correct. Well, and that's kind of back to my point, whereas that's where some of those other healthcare systems over in the UK and Canada, where they do have universal healthcare, yes, everybody has coverage,
Right.
but if you're going to wait a year before you can see the cardiologist,
One
What
of my
good does
friend,
it do you?
One of my friend actually, he died actually, waiting for 10
Waiting.
months. He didn't got the service,
Oh my
and I
God.
was
Wow.
so sad to feel that part.
Wow.
Also, the doctors becomes less innovative when we know that there is a fixed cost of medicine and everything. The drug companies they will not build a new thing. They know that everything is fixed. Today we need innovation, and I can tell you one thing. I was reading the newspaper. The UK, Canada, they are very much dependent on the innovation of drugs. What is happening in the United States, and they are using it. But when we apply the same thing, the new innovation, medical treatment, competitiveness, services, everything will fall. And I see that today our services are good. People who are getting the medical treatment, they are happy that when they call doctors, they get appointment in week or 2 week time frame, they get the medical treatment. We need to just see how we can reduce the cost, reduce the drug costs, and help everyone win here. And it need to be run by private. It need to be competitive. It need to be like best service. And this is where actually more and more players will enter into the market, and they will create the situation where the people services will become much more efficient than one system backed by the government,
yes,
where no other will enter into the system, because now the government control everything is there. Everything will start going down. No new research. Doctors not motivated. If they work hard, they can make more. Everything is on the negative path.
Yeah.
I think something what we have today, we should make it more better. And also, like, I firmly believe every human being should get the medical service, and we should fix the system on our side.
Okay, interesting. Well, and you had mentioned big pharma as well. I mean, obviously these big corporations, you know, the Bayers and the Pfizers and the Abbotts out there, they have a lot of pull in the political market because obviously they're making a lot of money. They're the ones that's coming up with this technology and the patents as opposed to pulling it out
Right.
of our doctors' hands.
Right.
Anytime our doctor comes up with something new nowadays, those big companies hear it, they gobble it up, and then they're doing research for
Right.
years on end.
Yep.
And, you know, trying to get something approved through our FDA on some of these drugs is so difficult, and it
Yes.
takes so long to do. How do you propose that we kind of get those drug costs to come down, because we have to fight not only the FDA, but we have to fight these big corporations to
Yeah.
do that?
Good
So-
question.
So first of all, Jen, the FDA process is very cumbersome.
It is.
We need to work to make it more efficient. We need to see that any drugs which is taking 3 to 4 years to get approved, how we can make it possible for 1 year, 1.5 year.
Okay.
And then today the drugs are patented for 10 years. And in fact, till 10 years the companies make money. In fact, we can reduce that period instead of 10 years to 6 years. If the companies are spending less money in FDA approval and as well as all the drug creation part, then at the same time they will be happy to keep the patent alive for 5 years, 6 years, so they can recover their cost, and then same drug can be available to outside world in the generic and the much lower cost.
That's a great idea.
So
Absolutely great
Yeah.
idea.
everything what we have to see, we need to see from the angle that everybody should win. Drug companies should win, people should be winner, the government, there should be less process. In fact, today when I see actually outside innovation, USA is the leader. Everybody look at USA, and everybody look at the drugs which are created here for the treatment. And by the system, what Barney and Democrats are suggesting, doing the Medicare for all and make it generic, everything, all the innovation will die down. This is exactly my worried part is for all the industries. Companies are today very innovative. Because of the low tax bracket, 21%, they are investing more and more in R&D. They are hiring more people. People are thinking and they are becoming more innovative. This is where we need actually our children's and our next generation, and not just bogged down with the fight what they are doing.
Well, and
Yeah.
let's face it, California's got a big economy because of those companies that are here,
Exactly.
are extremely
Exactly.
innovative. They let
Exactly.
that 22-year-old intern that's got a great idea go pursue that idea because they believe in the person and the vision.
Yes,
Whereas some of the corporations nowadays, they just want you to be that good soldier.
right, so
Right.
true. And I'm very sad to see one part under Democratic rule where the tax is highest in the California state, which is 13.5% on the high line from the government. And more than 600 companies in last 2 years have moved out of the California to other lower tax states.
And why is that? Because of
Tax burden.
Because of the tax burden.
The tax
Tax
burden.
burden is so high, and
Yeah.
then they are trying to put so much regulation on the companies.
Yeah.
The housing is so high. On the top of it, all the traffic congestions and everything. And the state government, if we look from the angle, what they have really done for all these things.
Yeah.
One need to revisit this part and see, are they really working for you? Or companies like PG&E, last year they donated $58,000 to the Democrat governor election race. Why we had to take money from them instead of we can use same money to have more improvement on their equipment which can prevent fire. So a lot of questions. I think people need to look at themselves and see whether it's time for change or not change.
Yeah. You know, I really want you to talk about things. You kind of showed us a paper there, things that you wanted to get out, and we want to make sure that you can get those words out with us here.
Yeah.
What would you like to add there? You know,
What I like to add is our companies, Silicon Valley, will continue to stay innovative. They should continue to move further with less government regulation. They should be in the less tax environment so that they will be competitive in the world and remain the market leader.
yeah.
They should continue to hire and continue to innovate on AI, machine learning, and all the new technologies. They should get even more incentives if they improve the life of the people by building any new technologies.
Yeah.
there should be a good immigration process, which I see sometimes people need to wait 10 to 15 years to get their green card. But then there is another route where the people who are not productive, they got their green card via lottery systems.
Yeah.
We need to revisit and we need to cut down those and give a green card to the people who are here, who are already working and who are already paying taxes in the to the government. Then another thing is schools and colleges. I like to make sure that there is a Prop 209, I don't know whether you are aware of not, which a Democrat was trying to pull away. And what this Prop 209 does is it gives admission in UCs. It prevents actually colleges from considering race, sex, religion or anything while giving admission to the UC or public jobs and everything. And Democrats want to take it away. Their thinking is like only certain actually people they get benefit. But I think that is such a wrong decision, because every kid, I believe, if they have given the right education, they can compete. And that competition can make the UC system and the workplace environment very competitive and very productive.
So if you're pro-education, it sounds like you definitely are, what do you feel about having tuition-free colleges?
So basically, if we do the tuition-free college, I did some studies on that part. To be frank, with the tuition-free college, the drop rate is very high.
Okay.
We should come up with the plan where the kids they should get admission, and those who are in need of money, there need to be a special way. Like when I came here in this country, I did not have enough money. I got the scholarship, and I paid. After tuition, after my college, I was working also, and I paid my tuition. So in fact, those who are needy, they can get it.
So there's a lot of students nowadays that are graduating college and they're going out into the workforce, and what they're finding is the jobs that they're applying for, either they don't qualify for because they don't have enough experience, or they're overqualified for because their degree is past where their employment rate is going to be. And if they do end up finding a job within their profession, the pay scale isn't enough to cover their student loans. So how do we address that issue with these kids that want to go to school, they want to better their life, but they have their education, but they still can't make ends meet once they get out?
So actually this is where exactly I see the gap between the colleges and industry. What the college is teaching in that case is very outdated, and what the industry need is they are not fulfilling the demand. So first of all, we need to merge and remove that gap with the industries. And then second thing is the children who are actually trying to pay their tuition fees after graduation. I have heard that, and it was in the Wall Street Journal article, that there was close to 14 options available to the kids. And one of the multiple options says that how you cannot pay the money, and how you can delay paying to the government, and how, and all those stuff. Yeah. To be frank, like if somebody has taken a loan for the education, it is the taxpayer money.
Yeah.
One need to pay it back so that it can be given back to another student who is needy, and the cycle continue to grow.
So you're not for giving away free tuition, you're not for subsidized tuition, but definitely what you're trying to do is try to close the gap between the corporations and the students, so we can actually give them an affordable and livable wage where they can cover those bills.
Exactly. Actually, my point is, if we keep on making it free, then one time it will come where we will have trillions of dollars of debt on all the American families. Instead of that, we look into what is there today and try to fix the core problem. Why the kids, those who are coming out fresh with the fresh new ideas. Today when I was working for the companies, they look for the fresh ideas, and those fresh ideas only comes from the new children's. If the kids are not getting the right education and they are not focusing more on the new technology, and the colleges are not helping them, then certainly we need to fix that core problem. And at the same time, we need to continue circulating the money. If we keep on giving loans and then not taking back, then this will become a trend.
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends, actually, their kids, they want to take a loan instead, I know that they can pay, but still they want to take a loan because they know that they need not to pay it back, which is not fair.
Yeah.
And we need to stop that angle and we need to give opportunity, equal opportunity to everyone. Yeah.
Fantastic. It's a great message. Great
Yeah.
message.
Thank you.
You touched on a very, very interesting point, and we have this motto at our company that with age comes wisdom, but with youth comes innovation.
Right, exactly.
And we like to have a good mix within our corporation of both those seniored people that have been with our corporation for a long time, but yet we like to bring in these interns and externs and these young, good, fresh ideas that can see things with different eyes
Yes.
that maybe we haven't seen
So true.
because we've had our blinders on for 20 years.
So true. And today
Yeah.
when I see these young children, any job you do, they focus on executing instead of asking, this will happen, that will happen. They are so efficient. Nowadays, I'm so much fascinated with the young boys and children coming out from the college.
Yeah.
They are so creative. And in fact, this is what we need to move our country to the next level.
Yeah.
And by giving the free, basically, everything will become, everything, we are making them dependent.
Yeah. And you know, as you talk about these things, it's like, I had this things going, I told you before, about world peace, you know, and that to me is people themselves getting out and doing things. And the young people these days with their computers and what have you, they're on top of things more than we ever thought. You know, before they just background and so forth. But here they're right into it. And with this kind of setup going, and you're being in office, you know, you can recognize that and get these words out to those kids.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And in fact, this is a time where so much Silicon Valley companies, so many companies and the colleges nearby, we should have the multiple program where the kids during second year or third year of the college be part of some company program. And that way they exactly know what they have to learn. Because sometimes I have seen while I was student, if I don't have the exposure to the companies, what is the next thing is,
Yeah.
then I don't know which direction I need to go. This is one of the biggest challenge with the children's nowadays in the college. So we need to work and open up those challenge and communication, and that will help the American companies, that will help the children, and both the sides, everyone is winner.
Wonderful,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Well, they're giving us the couple of minute warning here. So is there any last words of advice you would like to leave, or anything you would like to leave your constituents as to why you're their guy?
So I just want to mention that I'm not a politician. I'm running to serve you, to help you, and to improve the life of the people who are already suffering, and also to make America super leader in the world. I just want to say my name is Ritesh Tandon. I'm running from District 17, which includes San Jose, Santa Clara, Sunnyvale, Milpitas, Fremont, and Newark. And I really want to thank Jennifer and Dr. Mariam for helping me out and for this fantastic interview.
Well, actually, you're helping us out in a way, what you're saying, and this is why I've had you be with us. You know, I want you to get that word out and let people know what you're going to be doing. And hopefully, I hate to say like I'm biased, you know, that you get into the office and make it go, because the things you've talked about make a lot of sense to help a lot of people, you know, young and old.
Thank you.
So those are the best things. I'm going to let you have the last word here, young lady. And
So I said earlier when we were off camera, you know, I think you're an empath that got into politics. And you're going to have a tough road ahead of you, because there's a lot of seasoned politicians, and you're going to take some bullets. And I've been saying for years that sometimes the flag carrier needs to take those bullets before the rest will march. And I wish you the best of luck, because I think your heart is in the right place. And as long as you keep marching, people will listen to you and people will hear your message. And I hope soon you'll have that army of people behind you marching with you and believing what you believe.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
it's,
Thank you so much, all the audience, for listening to me, and special thanks to Dr. Sanchez. He's more younger than me, I can tell you. He's so much energetic, and thanks to Jennifer. And once again, please remember my name, Ritesh Tandon, and help me work for you.
that's Tandon, Tandon.
And my website is www.TandonForCongress.com, which is T for Tom, A for Apple, N for Nancy, David, ONFORCONGRESS.com, TandonForCongress.com. Please go there, support me, and help me.
And thank you very much for being with us. It's
Thank you.
Thank
awesome.
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Congratulations. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.